people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything, this is probably my most extreme opinion. 90% of women have been on birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD.
So here we go again. I did stories about this woman, Pearly Things, months ago, telling y'all that she was grifting in the black community and using the black community to push herself out into the mainstream, into the algorithm, so then she can go out to the higher white mainstream media and then, you know, and blast off into what she's trying to be. So she was using talking points catering to men, telling men what they want to hear, and a lot of men jump right on this stuff. So she comes out, as you can see in the beginning, you know, saying these type of things that men have been saying. But the problem with this was men heard her saying it and grifted over there, but she started making more money on YouTube than y'all, using y'all talking points. She started becoming a female Kevin Samuels. She started overtaking you guys. But let's listen to her now on Piers Morgan, and let's come right back.
Men do all of that. Well, then, okay, I'd love for the feminists, please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard jobs in society. They're open, they're hiring, because I don't think men or women are equal.
Now, as you can see, she comes on and she's talking about feminism, and she's going after the feminists on basically men's behalf, or she's leading you believe that she's doing it on men's behalf. She's not married. She doesn't have any children. She doesn't have a significant other. She's playing y'all. This is a grift for money. She knows that she can come out here, she can say the things that men want to hear, and men will gravitate towards that. She can wear some stockings on, cross her legs, show some leg, and a lot of you sex-starved, deprived men will run right over there to her. And then what she does is she gets a group of predominantly, mostly black women, and she deals with black dysfunctionality within the community. You know, but let's listen to another one of her clips. Let's listen to another one of her clips when she gets called out for not being a virgin and actually talking about marriage, and then we'll come right back.
Till death do us part.
But doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin, so you wouldn't be able to get married?
What do you mean?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity of marriage, then I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't actually live by.
And that's a fair complaint. I wish I was, but we can't go back. I don't.
So again, this is another person, 2 women on a panel talking about the sanctity of marriage and never been married. How can you talk about the sanctity of marriage and what it takes to be married if you never had the experience of actually being married with a person, actually becoming evenly yoked with a person, being enjoying to a person where you bring in your baggage and they bring in their baggage, and you're combining all the good and bad together to make it work? They don't know what that's like. They never lived that life. I've been living this life for 18 years, 19 years. It's funny how these people can get a stage. So now she's on Piers Morgan now. And with her being on Piers Morgan, a lot of her black employees is disgruntled, like Auntie Jenny. Auntie Jenny came out defending her at one time when the brother Cyrod Garvey came after her. Now that she's ascending to the white mainstream, she no longer needs her black employees anymore that she had in order to grift off the black dysfunctionality in order to blow her channel up. I told people this. I seen this coming a mile away. She likes to quote Thomas Sowell, as if Thomas Sowell is the only black man that wrote books about our community. She doesn't quote Dr. Amos Wilson at all. Never one time. She doesn't quote Dr. John Henry Clark. Absolutely not. And I'll explain to you why. Never. She never quote Nellie Fuller Jr. Never. Absolutely not. And she would never quote these type of people, because had she even made mention of these men, she wouldn't have never been able to talk the fake conservatives talk and grift off the black community, because a lot of people would have called her out for it. It's easy to use Thomas Sowell. It's easy to use Thomas Sowell because Thomas Sowell's writings are in agreement with a lot of white people. And where she was trying to transition to, a lot of these white people on the right uses those Thomas Sowell talking points. They don't mention Dr. John Henry Clark. They don't mention Dr. Amos Wilson. They don't mention Nellie Fuller Jr. Never. Never. So she was playing everybody from the door, and she made a lot of money off of this holding the mirror and displaying black dysfunctionality over there in London. And now Sarah Garvey separated from her when she brought Nick Fuentes on. Remember, she brought on Nick Fuentes. That was all strategic. She did that on purpose because she was making her transition into the white mainstream to be on Piers Morgan. This was all done on purpose, man. Because they know that black people, when white folks come around, a lot of our people do anything just to sit next to white folks and to be around white folks, to get attention from white folks. So all she did was pick the weakness in the game and exploit it. That's all Pearly Dusty Things did. And now that her channel is starting to fail because she started to finally get called out by the black community, she's starting to make her transition. So Piers Morgan brings her on, and what she's doing now is she's using all of the talking points that men use to call out women. So now she's a woman doing it. So now a lot of men will back her, talking about women voting and women's rights, and she's getting into doing all the hard labor and work. First of all, most men wouldn't even want women to work in oil rigs or do that kind of stuff. We already know there's never going to be any type of equality. But like I said, people like Pearly and them are going to use these talking points in order to boost her career, and people are going to allow her to do it because that's how ignorant and dumb people are. They're going to allow her to do it. She's just grifting just to make money, man. She's not married. Half the stuff she talk about, she's never lived them in her own life experience. I mean, for crying out loud, she came on to... She's been online plenty of times talking about slavery being embellished and quoting these people, but you never ever heard her say that the Holocaust was embellished. You never heard her say that the Jewish horror story was embellished. She would never say that because she understands the punishment. But she can come on there, because that's not the only video when she said slavery was embellished with Nick Fuentes. She has other videos where she talked about slavery being embellished. But she would never, it's easy to come on there and say that because who's going to, talking about black people in that manner, who's going to punish her? She's not going to be punished. Had she said that about anything about the Jewish publication, she wouldn't be online anymore. She wouldn't be online anymore. But she used these as a quick grift to make money, and people are going to allow her to do it. Now she's transitioning into the white mainstream, and she's going to be over there making a lot of money, like Ann Coulter and all those other women, because that's who she wants to be. She wants to be the next Ann Coulter and use these fake conservative views when she's not even living in herself. But I'll cut it here, man. Make sure everybody hit that like button. Leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.